This is our progress with mounting so far. So I think the last time you saw us with mounting, I was having my leg kind of like folded and my knee on his back. Now we're going to progress to kind of having my leg up and over. So this is kind of how I broke it down. We might have had my leg over a little bit, and I think he was touching it a little bit. But now I'm kind of just, and I'm jumping off the mounting block as well. That's another new thing. So I have kind of my foot kind of coming up over his back. I want to make sure that it touches him. He's okay with that. I can put my leg over. I'm clicking while my leg is over, taking it off, jumping off, and then feeding him. And he's totally cool with me jumping off. And I really needed to start practicing that because if for some reason I'm like even standing at the mounting block or sitting on him completely and he were to move or get afraid or whatever, I want to jump off, and I don't want that to be an aversive experience and scare him even more. So I wanted to get him used to me jumping off. That's just something that's going to happen. I'm going to kind of get on, not in a rough way, but in like not the most graceful way. I want him to be okay with my foot touching him on the back, touching him on the hindquarters, and kind of like scraping along his side. And I want him to be used to that. Like that's part of the mounting process for him. And this in the same way, I want him to be used to me jumping off of him. That's just how I get off. Is I jump off. That's normal. I don't want to, go around him and tiptoe around him so that I don't scare him. That's not something that I want to do. So I want to make sure he's totally cool with all of that. And I just start by just jumping off that little first step, so it's not quite as much of a jump. But just like with everything else, like when I jump off the block, I give him food. So he's like, this is totally fine. When I jump off the block, food comes. So it's not a big deal. So just kind of repeating that same process on the other side, especially in the beginning. I do want him to accept mounting for both sides. I'm going to jump off from both sides. I just want that to be routine. Like that's normal. I'm not going to just get on from one side because I don't know. Like if I were, let's say I'm getting on from this side, I'm sitting on him, he spooks or he starts getting tense, and I need to jump off and I get off on the right side. I want that to be a thing that he's totally fine with because I would want to get off on the right side since the mounting block is on the left side. I have kind of less options on that side and I don't want to fall and like hit it. So I do want him to be comfortable with all of the possibilities of mounting and dismounting on either side. Later on, like once I'm riding him consistently, I'll probably just get on from the left side and then I might switch up which side I get off of him on just to kind of reinforce that periodically. But for right now, especially in the beginning, I want all those possibilities to happen and him to be reinforced for all of them. And right now, I'm just kind of increasing the amount of time that my leg can be over his back. And then I'll kind of start putting some weight on his back and then increase that amount of time and then kind of start sitting on him for just a second and then a second more and so on and so on and so on. But so far, this is really great.